G'day and welcome to the University of Tasmania podcast. My name is Keegan, Popowski. We are recording this on a Tuesday, the 12th of May, here in sunny Sandy Bay. I am joined over Zoom from the northern end of the state with one of our elite athletes this year, Shelby Miller. Shelby is a gun netballer. I've been fortunate enough to watch her play a number of times, only once as a Tassie Magpie up at the Silver Dome in 2017. Shelby was... Shelby, are you currently the captain of Cavs?
Of Cavs, yeah.
Shelby's the Cavaliers State League team captain, and they won the premiership in 2019. She's a member of the Tassie Magpies and vice captain within the Australian National League. They won bronze last year. On her Magpies profile, she is listed as 201 centimetres tall. Probably not overly accurate, if I'm correct, but they might need to update that one. But Shelby is currently studying a Bachelor of Education in Launceston. How you going, Shelby? Thank you for joining us.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so just another mention to the people listening. This is our second run at this. I've got a bit of a habit of stuffing up the audio, but it's always good to have a practice run. So thank you for doing it twice. COVID-19's obviously disrupted a fair, everyone's lives at the moment. How's it been for you?
It's been a pretty big change for me. So I lost work straight away, pretty much as soon as it all started happening, being in retail. So I've had a lot of extra time on my hands, not training now, not working. So just doing uni online really and keeping busy.
Yeah, how are you making sure that you're staying match fit in case the netball season gets up and running again?
So we've been lucky enough to have been given a home program from the Netball Tasmanian EDS program. So that has conditioning sessions. My strength coach from the TIS gives me strength programs to do. So I'm lucky that I've got the support in that, and that gives me a little bit of routine of what I would have if I was still training.
Yeah, and has it given you a chance to focus more on your study with all this extra time, or how are you finding that?
Yeah, I've had so much extra time. As I said before, I don't have to do everything in one day now or sit down in an hour and smash it all out. So, it's a lot more cruisy at the moment. So I'm just trying to enjoy it for what it is, because normally I don't have time to do anything. So,
no, that's good. Have you, with all this extra time, you managed to pick up any new skills or anything along the way?
I've been doing a little bit more baking, a little bit more cooking, reading, just things you don't normally have time to do. I've been out on the ripstick, doing a few drawing tutorials, so just little fun things that you never get the chance to do.
No, that's good. Tell us a little bit about your degree and why you chose to go down that pathway.
So I'm doing a degree in primary education. Wasn't something that I ever thought I wanted to do. All through school I wanted to do paramedics, so I actually went to Melbourne to study paramedics. Found out it wasn't really what I wanted, so I came back after a year and thought I'll just give primary teaching a go. Lots of my friends and teammates study it, and they really enjoy it, so I've got a pretty good insight into it, and I'm still doing it 3 years later, so yeah.
Excellent. So you should probably have a year to go or so?
Yeah, a year and a half to go.
Yeah, too easy. How are you finding managing, so in the normal season, so not counting 2020, how do you go managing all your, your intense sporting schedule and your study workload?
I'm lucky to have the elite athlete program support me. So if ever I get too busy and I just don't have time to do some assignments, I can get extensions for them, which is really handy. In terms of my placement, being a teacher, we go on 4 and 6 week placements, which always fall in the middle of our season, of course. So, I'm lucky that I can get help from UTAS to talk with my schools to start a week earlier. So if I need to have Fridays off, and things. Just a little bit more flexible.
No, it's certainly good making the most of that.
Yeah.
So I want to have a little
well.
bit of a chat about your 2019 season, which was a big year for you. You captained the Cavaliers to a grand final, but the year before that you had lost to the Hawks in the prelim. What do you remember from the 2018 season where you didn't quite get all the way?
That's looking back a fair way now. I remember we were really up and down throughout the season, so we could never get the momentum happening week after week. So yeah, I remember we didn't play a very good game in the final that year, and we didn't deserve to be in the grand final the way we played. But yeah, came in guns blazing last year.
Yeah, good. I saw that the end of the 2019 season, the round robin, it looked like there was three teams up the top there, quite competitive. And your team, the Cavs, had to come up from the long way to the grand final, which you did, and you ended up beating the Hawks by 6 points. Do you remember anything from that day in particular, or did you, in that season, what was your record like against the Hawks, and were you feeling confident leading into that?
All throughout the year, Hawks and Cavs, like we'd win one of the rounds, then they'd win the other. So it wasn't known who was really going to win once we got to the grand final. It was really going to be who could perform on the day. But I remember first quarter on the day we started, we were going to have a really good start. We're all pumped, good warm up, and we were actually 8-0 down in the first few minutes. So we had to quickly get ourselves out of that and punch it back.
No, good, and obviously ended up with the result that you were after. That year you were also, it was your third year as a member of the Tassie Magpies, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were vice-captain in 2019. For those that don't know, me being one of those, what's it like travelling with the team for the Tassie Magpies?
It's heaps of fun. It's really good to be able to travel with girls from Melbourne and from Tassie. So we're a blended team that train in two separate states, and then we come together and play on the weekend. So it's really good to have a challenge when you go, but also the social side, just to be around like-minded people who have the same kind of goals as you do. And even just little things like getting to share a room with different people each week. You form some really good relationships with them all. But yeah, it's heaps of fun.
That's good. What's the difference between the Australian League and then the State Tassie League?
So the Australian Netball League is sort of like the feeder league that goes into the Suncorp Super Netball League. So I guess that's the program or the pathway that you go in to be able to play at the next level. So it's Australia-wide, so each state has their own team. And then when you go to Tasmanian State League, that's obviously within Tasmania in the region. So, yeah.
How do you find the difference in sort of quality of play between the two leagues? Is it, it would be quite hectic in the Australian League, no doubt?
Yeah, you do definitely notice a difference when you come back down, just in terms of physicality and speed of the game, and also height. In Tassie, we don't have that many big, tall shooters and keepers. And when you go and play in the Australian Netball League, you've got girls over 200 centimetres tall. So it's just adjusting to the way you play, really.
You'll be right, no doubt, as a 200 centimetre centre. So yeah. You're all sorted. So 2020 season, the 2020 season, coming off your big 2019 year, you're probably hoping to have a big year then, but obviously it hasn't quite gone to plan so far. Looking at the Cavs, first of all, you've started off 2-0 before the break. Looking towards the rest of the season, whatever that looks like, do you reckon it'll be a condensed season, and how do you think the season will play out?
Yeah, we had a really good start. Had a doubleheader in Hobart and we're 2 from 2, and then we were just about to play our big rival game against the Northern Hawks when everything got cancelled for a while because of COVID. So I think there's a lot of built up energy and everyone's ready to go. So I think as long as everyone's been doing their home programs, we can go back in without really feeling like we've had too much time away.
Yeah, excellent. And so in the 2020 season, was one of your aims to try and break into that Suncorp Super Netball League squad? Oh, you're in the squad, but were you trying to break into the team this year?
My goal was just to have a really big crack at the A&L League this year, because that's where you get identified really and asked to go into the next level. So I just wanted to go and take my opportunities when you can. You're not always guaranteed court time. Things change throughout the year. But, yeah, I had a really good pre-season. I was feeling really good about it. So it's been a bit frustrating with COVID, but everyone else is in the exact same boat.
No, it'll be certainly interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out. Just before we head off, do you have any tips for your fellow athletes that might be studying and playing sport at the same time?
Yeah, I would say don't be scared to ask for help when you need it, whether that be from friends or family or from the university. I know if I didn't have the help of knowing that I can get extensions or knowing that I can change when I start my placement, I would probably have a lot more mental breakdowns, just because there's not enough time in the day sometimes trying to juggle work, sport and uni. So don't be afraid to ask for help and manage your time well. Don't sit on your phone and fluff around. If you have to get something done, just get it done.
No, excellent. Certainly wise points there. Thank you very much for taking the time twice today to have a chat to me. It'll be certainly interesting to keep track of you and to see how the rest of the year goes. But make sure you subscribe to keep track of any further interviews that we do. But thanks, Shelby, for coming on.
No worries. Thank you.